Hello, everyone. I am Cassandra Herbert with Zest and Harmony, and I just wanted to come on today. Happy Love Day. Today is Valentine's Day. Yesterday, February 13th, was Black Love Day, which I just love because it reminds us to celebrate the love for our Creator, for ourselves, for our family, for our community, and for the Black race. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I just love it. So I just wanted to talk about love. Come on here and talk about love and, the crystals, herbs, essential oils, and food that can support love, whatever that love means to you. Today, I'm just going to talk, well, this is part one video. So in this video, I'm going to talk about rose essential oil as well as rose quartz and how that can support you in your love. And as we talk about love, I want to talk about my love for medicines of the earth, which are crystal herbs, essential oils, and food, and my relationship with those elements of the earth, and how I encourage you to look at your relationship with those, especially as I dive more into my ancestry and where I'm drawn to certain herbs or essential oils or crystals or foods. And why is that? I want to say that my ancestry is from Nigeria and Cameroon and Congo and Mali, as well as England and the Netherlands. And the land that I'm currently living on was land of the Lenape Indians. And I just want to name that because that is so important when we're talking about these medicines from the earth. So let's go into rose essential oil. I'm not going to tell you I've always liked rose essential oil. No, because that is not true at all. It's along with lavender. I just didn't like those initially. Probably I've come to or grown to like both of those. Lavender probably 20 years ago. The rose only in the last maybe 5 years, but rose essential oils is sweet, it's floral, it has this rich fragrance. And this is a essential oil that was used as a perfume by many kings and queens and pharaohs. It is also known as the queen of fragrance, whereas frankincense is known as the king of fragrance. It has traditionally been used in religious ceremonies as well as magical ceremonies. It goes along with the planet Venus, which is planted. It's a feminine planet. It is like water, so femininity and flow and all of that. It's the fragrance of love, the fragrance of love. And I have some right here. So I have a bottle of, knowing that history makes me appreciate the scent, the aroma of rose. It also has, it is an emotional aphrodisiac, means it promotes feelings of well-being and happiness. Just smelling it makes me feel more, and where, in Africa, do they have roses that grow? Yes. Did you know that Kenya accounts for more than half of all the roses that are grown in the world? Kenya does. And that it takes, do you know how many rose petals it takes to make this 5 milliliter bottle of pure rose essential oil? Some accounts say 300,000 rose petals. Some say 242,000 rose petals. Whatever that number is, it's a lot. Makes a 5 milliliter bottle of rose. Now, history says that Cleopatra had her living quarters filled with petals, rose petals, filled with it, so that she could make an impression on Mark Antony when he met her, and so that he could remember her. So, it is that fragrance that, you remember, For many of you, you might have had a grandmother or a great grandmother who had roses or wore a perfume that had the scent of rose. And that's the beauty about aromatherapy, is that when you smell that, it goes right into your olfactory part of your brain and you can remember. It helps you to remembering the past. So I encourage you to, if you don't even have rose essential oil, that's okay. Get some dried roses or some fresh roses, and really having that relationship with that plant. See what that plant wants to share with you. See what it's trying to tell you. Do you feel like you're attracted to that plant, or maybe you're not? The other thing with herbs, even though we're not talking about that, you could use dried organic roses and you can make a rose tea, which is so nourishing for that heart and your heart space, and for promoting self-love, as well as love to your, romantic love, all of that. So you can do that. Now I want to talk about rose quartz. Rose quartz, since we're talking about roses, so I have a nice palm stone of rose quartz. I also have this ring that's a rose quartz, and I have this beautiful pendant that's a rose quartz. Now I do love rose quartz. It's such a powerful crystal. Its properties is it purifies and opens the heart at all levels to promote love. At all levels to promote love. So again, like I said, it's just like the herb for self-love, for friendship. It's also deep healing and feelings of peace. Rose quartz is another good one to use if you are going through grief. Grief, whether that be of someone who actually transitioned, passed away, or just the grief, the loss, the things that just make your heart feel heavy. And I know in 2020, there was a lot of loss, loss, whether that was somebody who transitioned or passed away, or the loss of some of our independence, or the loss of what we knew and how we functioned as a people, the loss of the things that happened, with Black people, and the murders and all of that, and the injustices and the heaviness. I mean, that was heavy. And I know I worked a lot with rose quartz, just meditating with rose quartz, putting rose quartz, like if you're ever feeling like that weight and that heaviness on your heart, and I had to use that a lot and still do, I put a bit of rose essential oil on my heart space. I also carry it's something like this. I don't have it with me, but it's a smaller one. And I carry a smaller rose quartz crystal, as well as dried roses. And I carry those in my pocket because I want to promote that space of healing and to respond to people with love. And that doesn't mean being passive. No, it doesn't mean, because setting boundaries, speaking my truth, speaking up about injustices, I can do that. And I can do that with love. But it does not mean being passive and being a pushover or anything. That's being that strong heart energy, and speaking up and speaking out about things that oppress the BIPOC people, which is brown, indigenous, and people of color. So where can you find rose quartz? Well, you can find it. A lot of it mostly is grown in Brazil, like naturally in Brazil, as well as Mozambique, as well as India, as well as South Africa, as well as Madagascar and Sri Lanka. But you can also find it naturally growing in the U.S., Colorado, North Carolina, and Maine. And so it's interesting as you discover more about your roots and stuff. I know I have some of my ancestors who are from North Carolina, and it's interesting how I do appreciate and am drawn to rose quartz. And so it's interesting to know that is also found naturally in North Carolina. So breathing that in, and seeing if that resonates with you. Rose quartz, rose essential oils, and just about loving yourself up, because the more you love yourself up and the more you take care of you and use these medicines of the earth to support you, the more you will pour out love, the more you will respond with love instead of fear, the more that you will set boundaries, the more that you will heal your pain, your trauma, all of that. So just wanted to come on and share that. I'll be back on to share about, I think, cacao and cinnamon and I think cacao, cinnamon, and maybe ginger. All right. Peace and blessings, my friends. Take care. Bye-bye.